To all who listen to this happy pod, welcome. My name is Noah Parker, and this is my World of Wonder. Today I'm joined by my mother, Lynn. And today is actually Mother's Day that we're recording this. She happens to be in town for a couple brothers-in-law graduations. Brothers-in-law. Brother-in-laws.
Brothers-in-law.
Yeah. Yeah, a couple of my almost brothers-in-law, I suppose they are, graduated from college this week. And so mom came out to see them walk and also just happened to fall on Mother's Day weekend. So she is here right now. And we decided to take advantage of her presence and record her podcast right now. So what we've decided to do today, I'll let you share.
Oh, boy.
Well, I guess I can.
Okay. Go ahead.
No problem.
It's intense because, go ahead and share because it's just so close to my heart.
It's so, in the past we've done a Magic Kingdom and a Hollywood Studios tier list. And I realized that we should have done Epcot in between the two, but it worked out because I think mom knows Epcot best, honestly, because she spends so much time there. So
I do.
So we are going to be doing the Epcot tier list today with mom. Yeah. And like I said, it's probably her favorite park. So that's why it's near to her heart. We're gonna get some feelings hurt today, I think.
I know. I'm like, everything's an S. You must do everything.
Yes. But so basically, on that note, basically the way that this works is we will mention we're going through all the attractions, which apparently is sometimes character meet and greets, but sometimes not character meet and greets. I just took it off of a list online and went with it. So I think there's 41 things here, something like that.
Yeah.
But the way it's going to work is we will talk about the thing, and then we will each assign it a letter, a tier letter. If we agree, automatically gets that letter. Mm-hmm. If we disagree and it's off by one, then the average out goes to the lower letter. Okay. If they're off by two, then it's, you average and put it in the middle.
Yes.
And same thing, I guess, if I were to pick S and you picked F, it would go to C because it's middle but rounded down. We do each get one override. So if we disagree on something and we feel really strongly about it, then we each get one turn to say, no, I don't care what you say, it is an S. Or it could be totally, I don't care what you say, it is an F. So yeah, that is how the tier list game works. We're going to go through it at a comfortable pace, I think. Hopefully not too fast, but hopefully not too slow. It's 41 things. I'm thinking it should take us less than 40 minutes to do it.
Yes. And I think because there's 41 things, I think that just speaks to the size of the park itself in the first place.
And you don't realize that it's that big.
And you don't realize it.
But I will admit most of it, I think, is entertainment.
I think a lot of it is entertainment.
Not a whole lot of rides, but that's not what Epcot's about. But as we get started, guys, I want to remind you that this podcast is available on all major podcast platforms if you are watching the video version on YouTube. If you are listening on one of those major podcast platforms and you would like to see a video version with cameras and you can see our facial reactions and stuff like that, you can find the podcast on YouTube by going to youtube.com/Noah Parker _channel. Or you can search for the audio version on the podcast platforms by typing Noah Parker's World of Wonder. We're also have Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok pages, and you can find those also at Noah Parker's World of Wonder. And Facebook is actually where we're posting the tier list and the DCOM ranking card. So if you want a short summary of the film as well as what ranking we gave it, those are available on the Facebook page. I think that sorts it out. Just make sure that you follow us and leave a rating no matter where you are listening or watching to the podcast. Grammar's hard.
Yeah, I do want to also real quick give a shout out to one of our newest subscribers, and that is Leslie.
Oh yeah, Leslie.
Out in
Welcome.
Frederick. Yeah, so thank you. And you know who you are.
Indeed.
Vroom vroom.
Yes. Cool. So we're going to jump straight on into the tier list then, I think. Starting off with The American Adventure. And I want to clarify that this is the I can't, is it the whole pavilion or is it just the? I think it was just the.
This is the theater.
The show.
Yes.
Yes. So this is just the American Adventure show rather than the whole pavilion.
Correct.
So the American Adventure is a animatronic stage show, kind of going through the history between, basically it's the Civil War, up through.
It starts before
where does it
that.
start?
It actually starts before that.
My memory is not very good.
It really does start like with I want to say like the Pilgrims. Like
Okay.
coming to America.
Yeah,
and
I think that is
starting
one of the
there,
first scenes.
and it kind of, I mean, that's kind of a short part of it.
Yeah.
But then it kind of goes into like the American dream and how that has, like where it started and how it's evolved and that sort of thing. So.
For sure. Really fun. There is one song in that pulls on my heartstrings every single time, and it is during the Civil War sequence. And I don't know the name of the song, I guess, but it's the part where they're talking about the two brothers who were fighting for opposite sides, and whether it's legend or factual, I keep forgetting, or it's something I made up in my mind. I believe one of the brothers killed the other brother.
Yeah,
because they happen to meet on the
so.
battlefield, which makes sense. If they're brothers, they lived close by, so they're going to end up probably at the same battles. But if I remember correctly, one of them killed the other one.
Yeah.
And that song, like Two Brothers, oh my gosh,
I can't listen to that one either. It
breaks
makes me
my heart
cry.
every time.
It
That
does
being
me too.
said, there's so many other songs in there too, like America.
Spread your golden wings.
I love that song.
Fly on freedom's wings.
And for those reasons, I would like to give this an A tier, because it's not quite an S, I don't think. It's not that good because, to be honest, I go in there to cool off and take a nap.
Oh my.
But after the Civil War sequence, I see that, I cry, and then I go to sleep.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. It's definitely an A.
Awesome.
It's definitely an A
It's official.
because I mean, it's talking about, first of all, the narrators are,
It's Ben Franklin and
Mark Twain.
yes.
And it's just, I mean, one of the greatest inventors in in America, and one of the greatest writers. I
Right.
mean, they're just fantastic. And it goes all the way from like Betsy Ross sewing the first flag and stuff like that, and the Statue of Liberty being gifted to us from Spain or France and everything. And so it's just so cool.
Yeah.
The nap part, I'm not going to lie, is definitely a factor. The fact that it's inside an air conditioning.
That's a big plus. It gains a lot of points just for that.
I mean, aside from the history part, but like if you have
Yeah.
littles
Yeah, if you need kids to
and they're
calm down.
hot outside and they want to take a nap because that's why they're like having meltdowns, then this is great for littles. It's great for, I would say, young adults and older adults, just because of the air conditioning and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know about teenagers per se. I can't really
They
speak
might
to
not
that.
love it
but
so much. If
they
you
just
have a
be like, I want to
teenager,
go on another ride.
I was going to say, if you have a teenager who's a history buff, absolutely.
Absolutely.
But right on. So we move on now. This is alphabetical, with the exception that it's technically the American Adventure and not American Adventure, but it still goes on A anyway because it's close enough. Second one is Atlas Fusion, which is the concert stage in Morocco.
In the Morocco Pavilion, yeah.
I'm kind of going to preemptively say that I feel like all of the stage stuff is like a C.
I would agree.
And that's just because like kind of going in with the whole like reason that the American Adventure gets an A because of the air conditioning. Like it gets a C because it's not air conditioned. It's outside.
And the seating.
And yeah, I don't think there's any seating.
I don't think there's seating at this
for
one.
Atlas Fusion or a couple of the other ones we'll get to.
Some of the other ones we're going to get to.
It's just a
don't
stage
have.
and you just stand there and watch. And for those reasons, we give it a C because if you're into music, fabulous. You get some. They pick really good bands. Like you're not going to hear any trashy music. You know, it's going to be something good and classy.
Exactly.
So if you're into music, that's a good thing to enjoy. But especially on a summer day that's going to be hot, you're going to be sweating. You're probably only going to watch one or two songs, and then you're going to book it to the American Adventure to get the AC.
I will say, and this I think will go for all the concerts or concert pavilions in each Country Pavilion.
Okay.
I think that at Christmas time, that's where it's going to be like the most, oh, this is pretty cool. I think I can stand here and watch this.
Okay.
Because they're going to be playing their country's holiday music. So I think that's a cool one. Yeah. That's my 2 cents.
Why does that S look like it's capitalized?
And you know that I like to go to the Festival of the Holidays, so there's that. Actually, there's some more stuff on Festival of the Holidays, and it's in here, and I love it. I'm super excited about that. Should we move on?
Yes. Sorry,
Okay,
I was just
so
adding some.
The next one is at the Living with the Land upstairs, kind of next door to Garden Grill, and it is Awesome Planet.
And this is one I haven't seen yet, so whatever you pick here for a
So,
letter is what we'll let it have.
If I remember this one correctly, it's I think this is the one that is hosted by Timon and Pumbaa, but I'm not 100% sure.
No, I don't believe so.
I think
It was Circle of Life. Is it? I don't know. I guess I could be wrong. I don't know.
I don't know.
It was.
And maybe it was the Circle of Life one that I'm thinking of, so I don't know. But I don't know. Now I want to look it up.
Well, that's fine. From my understanding, it's a film talking about like climate change and how we have not done great things for our planet,
Mm-hmm.
but also how awesome our planet was to begin with. So I think this one kind of would fall under the it has AC kind of thing.
Yeah, it does. It has AC, and that in and of itself is like the best thing.
Yeah. And I would say it honestly is going to depend on how you feel about the topic.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of hard to give it a letter because I haven't seen it myself. But I'm thinking between B and C, just because it is just another show. You're kind of just sitting.
Mm-hmm. I would give it a C, and it's
okay.
I
Works
would
for me.
even say, speaking to my generation, this is going to be one of those. We've walked all over the World Showcase. I need to sit down.
Yeah.
I need AC, that kind of thing.
And once you're in the land, you're already in AC. So
yeah.
But it is a place to sit down and put up your feet. Maybe if there's no one sitting in front of you.
Yeah.
For comfort.
It's a 10-minute film.
Mm-hmm.
But it says it's a 10-minute film featuring spectacular imagery from across the globe.
Beautiful. Well,
so definitely a C for sitting.
I'll take it for sitting. Yes. Excellent. So we move along swiftly to Beauty and the Beast Sing Along, which is in France. I don't know where exactly it's in France. Somewhere back by Ratatouille, I would assume, or somewhere.
You go to
in
the
that
right to
general
Ratatouille.
vicinity.
Like there's
Is
like a
this
building,
an indoor
and it
outdoor
goes to the
thing?
left. It's an indoor.
Okay, well then,
Yeah.
we're already looking at least a C
I mean, yeah.
because
I
it
think
is
for
inside
littles-
and air conditioned.
But see,
it's
for
Beauty and the
littles,
Beast.
it's Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast stands up. I don't think. I don't think you have
No?
to be. I was going to say I don't think you have to be little.
Right.
I think Beauty and the Beast stands up, kind of no matter how old you are.
Right.
So, I love Beauty and the Beast still.
Yeah.
Maybe that's because I played Beast in a high school production, so it has a special place in my heart. But I feel like Beauty and the Beast was one of those Disney movies that is just kind of universally loved.
I agree.
And
I think it's timeless too.
I think it's because it doesn't feel like a Disney princess movie.
right.
So like
Right.
anyone can watch it and you don't feel weird.
And like it continues on because if they've been to Hollywood Studios, they've likely seen the stage show.
Yeah.
That's over down by Tower of Terror.
Yep.
So it's going to be something, oh, we saw this show. Oh, we get to do the sing along now. And I think that's going to be something that's going to be attractive. But I think I want to give that one a B, actually. Just
Okay.
because it is more immersive
Yeah.
and interactive.
I
I'll say
was going to give
interactive.
it an A because I love to sing and it's a sing along. So it's like the one place in Disney where it's acceptable for me to sing to the song. But as per our rules, it rounds down to the lower of the two.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'll
Okay.
override it. I don't want to use that one for my overwrite because I want to
Right.
make sure I have that overwrite saved up for later if I need it. Next, we move on to Canada Far and Wide Circle Vision 360. I am realizing that I don't think I've ever watched Canada Far and Wide. I watched
No, but I
Canada.
think it's in the same pavilion. And
Well, yeah, it would be in the
so-
same theater because they're both Circle Vision 360 films, but I haven't seen Far and Wide. If I remember, if it is in the same theater and it is as I remember. It starts with the C because it's air conditioned.
Exactly.
But I'm going to say it's going to drop to a D.
Exactly.
Because there's no seating.
There's no seating.
You're standing. It's air conditioned, so it's not an F, but you're standing the whole time.
And
so it's not a place to take a load off.
To sit, because if for some reason they have to evacuate you
Yeah.
and you're already on the floor, that's
Yeah.
already a
You're a
safety
trip
hazard.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. 100%
And you can't
agree.
stand. You can't sit up on the rails. Like there's rails in there, isn't there?
There's
Or is
kind of
it-
like I don't know if there's the tubular rails now.
That's what I thought.
I thought they used to be like a table kind of thing, so you can lean on it at least.
Right.
But I don't think that's it anymore. And so I definitely agree that it drops down to a D.
Yeah, it's got to be the D because
there's no seating.
Yeah. But
Yes,
it's
you
air
can get
conditioned.
in.
If you love Canada, maybe you can give it back the C. But honestly, like,
No.
I'm gonna say no. I don't think there's enough interesting stuff in there to override the fact that you're standing the whole time.
Right.
It is. I think it's also 10 minutes actually. Like Awesome Planet, except Awesome Planet has seats, and you don't get seats in Canada far and wide.
Exactly. Like, why would you do it?
This next one is one you get to talk about a lot.
I love this one
Because
so
this is something you've already talked about a little bit.
a lot because
Go ahead.
because it is my favorite. It's one of my favorite things. As we've mentioned, the Festival of the Holidays the festivals are my favorite, but Festival of the Holidays is one of my favorites. And so the Candlelight Processional, which we have never done before, we actually were able to do that this past holiday season. And I am so thankful we did.
Yeah.
Because they have, if you're not familiar with it, they have a celebrity read basically the Christmas story about how Jesus was born and Mary and Joseph came, what all that entailed, coming to be counted in the census, and Jesus being born and all of that, Mary and Joseph. And they have a celebrity read that story. They also have cast members and the Voices of Liberty sing different songs throughout this. And when we went, one of my favorite singers, if you've never seen this movie, you have to go watch it too. One of my favorite singers is Bart Millard from Mercy Me and his movie I Can Only Imagine. Mm-hmm. And it just happened that someone else was supposed to be there the day that we had planned to go, and we found out the day before that it was going to be Bart.
How cool.
And it was fantastic. And that one I give, tell me what S is again? Like a must see? Or
well, it's not just, it's like that is the best of the best that Epcot has to offer.
That is an S.
Okay. I will
you can't
based
disagree.
on principle, I'm going to agree with you. I haven't experienced it myself, but based on principle, we're going with yes. Absolutely. So that being said, that takes us down to our break, actually. We're going to take a quick break to get cameras reset and to stretch our legs a little bit. But we'll be back swiftly. And we're back. Cameras are fun. Cool. So the next thing on our list, actually, I'll go ahead and let you talk about what you're going to talk about right now, so we can ease back into the list. Kind of rounding out the rest of your thoughts on the Candlelight Processional.
So Candlelight Processional is held at the American Garden Theater, which is across from the American Adventure building. Mm-hmm. And while it's not air conditioned, I think actually when you get a little farther in, so it's kind of sort of half of it is outside, half of it is inside. And of course, the performers are going to be
really
in air.
inside, but it's like
no, but it's
under it's like an amphitheater with an awning.
Yes, exactly. It's an amphitheater, and so those performers are definitely performing.
They have something
in air
cooling
conditioning.
them down. Yeah,
and so and if you get like the reserve seating and the dessert, whatever it's called, the dessert package, yeah, then you can get closer. Mm-hmm. But it does have seating, and then even though it's the Candlelight Processional, it's winter, and in Florida it does get cool.
Yeah, not cold.
Not
cool.
cold. I mean, it can get cold, but I digress.
Nice.
And so that's really cool, is that you at least get to sit down, and it's really interesting to see how the different narrators tell the story and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Speaking of cool, takes us to our next attraction, which is Club Cool, presented by Coca-Cola. Excellent segue. I don't get those a lot, but it's cool because I had one this time. Club Cool, presented by Coca-Cola. probably one of my favorite places that is not a ride in Epcot, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because Club Cool is it's basically a Coca-Cola store where you can get some Coca-Cola merch. You get the panda bear, not the panda bear, it's the polar bear. Thank you. I knew it started with a P. You can buy Coke there. I mean, you can buy Coca-Cola in a lot of different places in Epcot or Disney in general.
Disney in general, yeah.
But you can get a lot there. They have like coin banks that are shaped like Coca-Cola bottles and stuff like that.
Yes.
But its highlighting factor, in my opinion, is the fact that they have some soda fountains, several of them on the wall that display. What's the word I'm looking for?
They let you sample some of the
highlight, I guess. Some of the more popular Coca-Cola variants around the world. So there's like a Fanta that's from some country that tastes different than our Fanta and it's delicious. And then there's
like a watermelon
what's the really
cucumber
good one? Watermelon
and
cucumber.
it's like Mozambique.
Yeah, that's a really
And then there's a really yucky one.
Beverly, which for some reason is one of the more popular Coca-Cola branded beverages in Italy, right? I think it's Italy.
And
it's like, it tastes like hand sanitizer.
Nasty.
What's funny is that when I went in March for my little one-day trip, I shot a video for the Instagram story where I pretended that it was my favorite thing there. And I literally struggled so hard because I was like, it literally tastes like I just swallowed a handful of hand sanitizer.
Oh my gosh.
But I'm like, play it off.
Oh, that's so fantastic.
And then as soon as I stopped recording, I literally grabbed a cup and went and got the Mozambique one. Yeah, I'm like, gotta wash that out. And I think it honestly took an hour before I couldn't feel the alcohol burning sensation on the back of my tongue.
Yeah. And it's so strange, but
I don't know what's actually in that beverage, but it's wild. That being said, I give Club Cool I'll give it a B.
I agree. It's a B.
Because it is crowded, because everyone is in there trying to try the sodas. But what's really happening is everyone's in there trying to get something to drink
after they drink
the Beverly, or just in general, they're like, man, I'm thirsty, and they don't want to actually buy a Coke.
Right.
So they start filling up their sample cups.
Yeah, their little tiny cups.
And they just keep slurping it and slurping it and slurping it.
Yeah.
But so it's crowded. There's nowhere to sit, but it's not a restaurant, so I wouldn't expect there to be a place to sit.
Yeah, there's.
But it is air conditioned.
Yes.
And just like those, you are sampling sodas. That is refreshing. It will help you cool off a little bit.
And for those like in scooters and things like that, it's
hard to navigate.
This place is not very scooter friendly.
It is
at
not.
all. And it has little to do with the placement of the like end caps and things like that, or aisles, whatever. They're not really aisles, but
kind of like islands, I guess.
Yeah, they're islands. It's more to do with the fact that there's so many people in there. You just cannot.
Yeah. If you go on a really slow day in September, you might be fine. But for the most part, like any day that's kind of hot, it's pretty crowded in there.
Yeah.
So I give that one a solid B. Is that fair? Mm-hmm. Excellent.
I agree. Okay.
So we move down a little bit now to Command Performance. Mm-hmm. Not sure what that is, other than I think it's the concert venue or the music venue, I guess I would say.
Yeah.
In the UK pavilion.
It is. And I think I'm looking it up actually real quick because I just want to double check and make sure I'm not saying it incorrectly. Hello. It went away and it came back. So it is a performance of British rock from the 1960s through the 1990s in the United Kingdom gazebo.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And so you're going to get like Beatles, I would say mostly Beatles, but I don't know like what has been popular in British rock after the Beatles. I would say there's probably some cover bands and stuff going on in there.
Yeah, I would assume
and things like that. So
right on. Are we sticking with our previously agreed upon?
That's going to be a
C's
C
for pretty much all of those as we get to them. And not a lot to say about it. We've kind of covered it already when we talked about the Atlas Fusion. All the same reasons Atlas Fusion is a C is why this is a C. And again, just like with Atlas Fusion, if you like Moroccan music, if you like UK music, like English rock, you're probably going to get a little higher on your list. But I don't really I like music, but like I'm a show tunes guy. So I'm looking for those, which is we'll get to actually 2 short moments. We'll talk about that. But until then, we must discuss the Disney and Pixar Short Film Festival.
Yes.
Do you happen to know what short films they are showing in there right now, or what shorts they're showing?
I
don't remember. It's been a while since I've been in there, because it's been the
else,
same since like 2016.
That's exactly right. It's been so many of the same ones. One of the first ones that I ever saw there, and I don't know if they still have it there. I can't really remember what it's called or anything like that, and I'm pretty sure that's where I saw it anyway.
Maybe not. Maybe
I was thinking it was one with the kid who doesn't get off the couch and stuff, plays video games, and then his mom brings home the puppy, and the puppy's got the wonky foot.
Oh yeah, I think you're right.
And I think I
that
remember
is one of the ones
seeing
that's in
that
there.
one.
Yeah.
And then yeah, that's and it actually says popular Disney and Pixar short films like never before. 4D. It's a 4D.
Which means that it sprays water at you sometimes,
it's
and
got
it kind of
wind or
shakes a little
sense
bit.
and stuff, yeah. So, and which makes sense because where this particular attraction is the previous Honey, I Shrunk the Audience.
Which is the previous Captain EO.
Which is the
previous Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. Which is the previous Honey, I Shrunk...
or
the previous Captain EO. Did
decide...
it open originally as Captain EO?
It did.
Okay, so that was the first one.
Yes.
Then they did Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. Then it went back to Captain EO in 2011, I think it was.
Yes. It was when we went...
It went back to Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. And then it's been the Pixar, Disney and Pixar Short Film Festival since at least 2016. I think it was probably 2015 when we went.
It was before, when we
went. For my graduation, I'm pretty sure it was already
the Pixar stuff,
I couldn't tell you exactly when, but it's at least been since 2015.
Yeah.
Anyway, that to say, I
give that one a B, and it goes back to
I was
whole
debating.
reason because it is in the air conditioning. There is seating, and then this is going to be Disney and Pixar short films. And it's going to be anytime there's like a movie, I feel like something like that, where it's going to probably be Toy Story and it's going to be, Bug's Life and different things like that. I feel like it's going to attract the kids as far as it's going to capture their attention. So that one I definitely think should be a B.
Perfect. All right. Next on the list, I'll let you read it because I do a lot of the talking. So
okay, Disney on Broadway concert series. Now this one actually takes place again. Y'all know I'm all about the festivals. This one takes place during the Festival of the Arts. So this is the January to mid-January to mid-February festival, and it's also held in the American Garden Theater across from American Adventure. And so that one, what did we say for the last one? I can't remember. Oh, well, that was a candlelight processional. We can't say that.
This is the one that automatically makes me want to go to a B instead of a C like we've been doing for the concert series.
I agree.
Because, like I said, I'm a show tunes guy. But out of fairness... Well, that's my list. I can do whatever I want.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
I was going to say, out of fairness, I'll give it a C so that it matches the other ones, because I've been modifying the other ones, saying if you like UK music, then it's a B. But if you don't, then it's a C.
And I wanted to... Sorry.
It's kind of the same thing here. If you don't like show tunes, then this is probably going to be a C for you. But it's my list and I do what I want. So.
That's exactly right. I don't know. I forgot to mention, I don't know if Command Performance in the UK Pavilion, the gazebo, I don't know if that actually has seating or not.
I don't think it does.
Or not.
I don't think any of those
a little
ones
farther.
do.
We're going to get to one another couple down, and there's some that do and some that don't.
I thought the only one that did was the American Adventure.
No, Canada does.
They have seating?
They have like these little, they look like logs. We're like grassing again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they look like logs.
Oh, I've never even noticed.
But they're kind of benches.
Honest. I just walk right past.
They're just benches, and it's right in front of the stage.
Okay, so there is some form of seating, but it's
I don't
still
know
outside.
if these other ones have seating. So
well, that's fine.
You'll definitely want to check that out. If it's got seating, maybe you want to sit, even though it's in, depending on what time of the year you go, it might be cooler. It might be raining. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Next, we go to the first interactive. I think it's the only interactive attraction. Well, I guess there's multiple interactive technically, because I would say the Beauty and the Beast sing-along is interactive. But it's the massively interactive DuckTales World Showcase something. There wasn't another word on the list I got, but it starts in France. And do you remember when Innoventions was around and they had the Kim Possible World Showcase Mystery?
Yes.
That's
Does this
what
replace
this is.
this? Okay.
So it used to be the Kim Possible like World Showcase Adventure Mystery.
It was like
something. You had to track down the bad guys.
Yeah.
Then it became the Phineas and Ferb, Dr. Doofenshmirtz, Perry the Platypus, evildoers doing dumb things.
And we did both of those.
Yes. The DuckTales is what has taken over for both of those. So a lot of the things are the same, meaning when you go into the Germany pavilion, you have a task to do and it activates the cuckoo clock where it used to be like one of the villains from Kim Possible getting chased by Ron or something. And now it's I think it's Donald Duck. I don't remember. I've only seen it in videos. I haven't done it yet. Is being chased by something. Just I don't know. I don't know exactly what's going on. I think you should, and we can get some more information on it because it's kind of fun.
Okay.
I really loved the Kim Possible one we did, and I feel like this would be very similar. I don't think I've actually fully been aware that it is a thing until like just a couple months ago.
I feel like I knew there was something.
I think I did too, but it was like I didn't know where it was. I didn't know what exactly it was, but after seeing some videos, I'm like, okay, maybe I need to actually play this. So we will find that. But I'm going to give it I'm debating between B and C, to be honest. Because it seems like a lot of fun.
I'll say B because I feel like this is going to the kind of like intermediate group. So like older than like kindergartners, let's say.
Yeah.
And maybe early teens. That's going to give them something because you get to use your phone to do it and stuff. I think it's phone. Yeah. Back when we did it in the day, you used to get a little handheld like.
You got a cell phone.
Yeah. To do it on.
To do it on. Yeah. But yeah, no, now I'm actually pretty confident now that I'm thinking about it. It is through the Play Disney Parks app, which I want to do a whole series on. That's just a standalone video series for the channel where we go through the Play Disney Parks app. I mean, we do the trivia on the podcast already. So it'd be more like going through the Batu bounty hunting and how to get started on it and how to all that stuff.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
Yeah. I think it's fun.
But that's, that requires me to go there. Mm-hmm. Or at least have you trained up on how to shoot video with enough B-roll that I can make it a video on the side. But anyway.
I think it'd be easier if you just came down there.
Yeah. So we're going to move on now to our next concert series. Which is the E to the Beat concert series. Mm-hmm. And it's really just the same thing, but this is the Food and Wine Festival concert series.
Correct.
All the same things we've covered before.
Yeah, so the Disney Broadway concert series, that's going to be like... That camera just went off, I think.
Oh, the battery's dying on that one. That's fine. Finish out this dot and we'll get a new camera going.
The Broadway concert series is going to be the Disney on Broadway stars coming and singing, their songs and stuff like that from different shows. The Eat to the Beat is going to be like anything from, I don't know all of them, but I'm just going to say the ones I do know, like Rick Springfield, Air Supply. I know those are total 80s, but that's my generation. They're going to have, I think they had Lady Gaga at one point. Neat. I mean, they have some pretty
high profile
people.
But then they also have some guys who are really, really good and really, really talented, but maybe not quite as famous.
Exactly.
Like Sage Starkey and his band, the Sound Up Band, were part of Eat to the Beat last year, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay. So we have taken a brief pause because we've decided that we need to, we keep saying the same things basically about the concert series.
Yes.
Are the different concerts. So we're just going to go through all of those right now and preemptively give them all C's. Yes. So you go ahead and read them off and I'll give them the letter grades while you're going through.
Entertainment at Canada Mill Stage. That's the one I was telling you about. It's like as you walk through, like the World Showcase Lagoon is over here and then you don't even notice, but the stage is right there and there's like benches. And then where were we? The entertainment at the Germany gazebo. That's mostly we see that during the festivals and it's tucked away between two food stations. It's going to be popular songs. I say popular, but they had like 80s and 90s and maybe 2000s. But they were singing in German. And the Garden Rocks concert series is going to be during the Flower and Garden Festival. And that is also at the American Pavilion. The American Garden Theater, at the American Pavilion. And so those are the ones that are basically that take place at mostly those concert venues. Then there's the Mariachi
Cobre.
the Marimba de las Americas. Sorry. And say that one because I don't know that one.
I don't know.
I know what it is. It's Matsuriza. But it's the Japanese drummers. And that's an amazing thing too. But they all get C's because they're outside and most of them don't have seating. Unless it's a concert series and it's at the American Garden Theater.
Mm-hmm. Or the logs at
Canada. Okay. All right.
Okay. Perfect. So now we can hopefully move a little bit swiftly
More
since
swiftly.
we've covered all of those.
More swiftly.
And okay, I've double checked spelling this time.
Yes.
So last time in the Magic Kingdom one, we talked about the Magic Kingdom Paintist, and none of us knew what that was. And then we realized that the spelling was incorrect, and it was the Magic Kingdom Pianist.
Yes.
We apparently have a pianist in Epcot too. And it says pianist this time and not paintist.
Where is that at? I can't even think of where that's at.
It's in the pub in the UK pavilion.
Oh.
So it's not like the one in Magic Kingdom where he's just outside.
Outside of, what's it?
Of Casey's Corner.
Yep.
But he is inside the pub. So you can really only experience it if you're in the pub, which means
you have to go to Rose
you
and
have
Crown.
to be at least 21.
And 21.
18 to 21, depending on things. I don't know if you have to be 18 to 21 to go in.
Okay.
But like, you kind of just go in, like if it's a pub, right? So it's alcohol.
I don't know.
They might have food. I don't know.
I'm sure they have food.
They probably do.
They do.
So maybe you
Fingers
can
and mash.
enjoy it if you're not 21.
I think so. Okay.
But I feel like that one's definitely more geared towards the elders, and it's not like
the adult crowd.
Yeah, more the adult
for sure.
crowd. I'm gonna say C.
I think it's a C.
Maybe pushing D, to be honest, because it's inside. And you have to go into a restaurant to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Which kind of cuts down on its accessibility.
Yes.
Because you don't want to just go in there and get in the way if you're not planning on actually eating there to enjoy it. So
you're
you know what?
listening.
Actually, I'm gonna give it a D.
Yeah. I agree.
I'm sure it's beautiful piano music, but I also feel like it's probably not ragtime because it's the UK, so it's not there too proper for that. But I won't dwell on it too much, to be honest.
No.
We can move on.
The next one is Frozen Ever After. Now, I am torn for this one.
Oh, me too.
Because
I'm assuming it's the same reasons.
I'm going to start off on the nice side and move quickly to the bad side. So if you have littles, they no doubt, especially the girls, no doubt love Anna and Elsa. This is a great ride for that. It's going to be, you can, I think you can get a lightning lane for it. You can use GD Plus for it. You don't have to wait in too long of a line. Usually, there's also I think this might be in there, the Elsa and Anna meet and greet, is in that same location and everything. And so it's a little boat ride. It's fantastic. And that is where, so if you have littles that love Anna and Elsa, definitely this is going to be an A. However, if you are old school and you miss Maelstrom like we do,
it'll break your heart every time you ride it.
It'll break your heart every time you ride it.
Which is twice.
Yeah.
Twice ever that I've ridden it, and I can't do it anymore because I miss it. But I also have another reason that I don't like riding this ride.
Oh.
The projected faces on those animatronics is creepy. It's often not working correctly, to be honest. It makes me very happy to know that Tiana's Bayou Adventure is getting proper animatronic faces and not projections. I think it was a cool idea in practice or in principle.
Yeah.
But in practice, it doesn't translate well.
Yeah.
They're very clearly projections. They don't work well, in my opinion. I think Imagineering needs to stick with the physical faces for animatronics.
Yes.
And for that reason, Frozen Ever After gets a D.
D. Yes, I agree.
If you love Frozen and you never experienced Maelstrom, then you're going to probably disagree with me. But that's why I included the bits about the creepy, eerie, projected faces animatronics.
Yes.
That in and of itself, I think, is enough to lower it to a D.
And I don't want to harp on it, but what I really liked about Maelstrom was the whole reason the World Showcase was introduced in the first place, was so that people could get a taste of that country without going to that country necessarily. And so Maelstrom was like the history of Norway. And I loved that. I really loved that. And even the, you are not the first to pass this way, nor shall you be the last. And over the falls. I mean, just saying.
It's good stuff.
It was good. Okay.
Yeah. Next, we move to the counterclockwise one spot to the Mexico Pavilion, where we find Donald Duck and the other two caballeros, and Grand Fiesta Tour featuring the three caballeros.
Yes.
Honestly, I think I enjoy this ride too much.
I know.
It's super overrated.
It is definitely overrated.
I enjoy it more than any human ever should.
You know, my biggest reason that I enjoy it?
It's a good ride.
It's not. It's not because it's a good ride. You know why? Because about 90% of the time you can walk right onto the ride.
Yeah. Even in the middle of summer, biggest crowds, it's probably no more than a 10-minute wait.
Yeah.
If there is a wait. It's super fun to just walk on and just go on it. And then it's fun to see Donald being chased by the other two caballeros because he's
and I think they get goofy into it or something at some point.
I think he
makes an appearance.
Yeah, I think he's, if I remember right, he is water surfing or like not water surfing.
He's
water skiing.
Water skiing. Yeah, he's doing something.
Am I wrong? I think so. I think he's in there.
So
I could be wrong.
But I also get confused because the way it used to be.
It has changed.
Okay, so this is not like where at the end they had the celebration of Dia de los Muertos, right? That was what it was.
Yeah.
And then
now they change. I think it still is, but not
because that's how closely we pay attention to the ride.
All I know is that sometimes Donald Duck is a plant. Have you seen the animatronic at the end? Sometimes the animatronic isn't working. They'll just unbolt it and they put a flower pot in its place to cover the hole on the stage where the animatronic goes. So sometimes Donald Duck turns into flowers.
So
anyway, B or A?
I'm gonna say a B.
Okay.
Yeah.
It probably doesn't really deserve an A.
Right?
But you know what deserves an S?
Oh yes, Galaxy.
Guardians
Absolutely.
of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
100% an S.
One of the coolest attractions Disney's ever put together, in my opinion.
Yeah.
In the United States.
Yeah.
I have to add that modifier because the Beauty and the Beast ride in Tokyo is amazing. The Frozen ride in Tokyo is amazing. There's a couple other ones. There's Pirates of the Caribbean in Tokyo.
Yeah.
I have to watch the Imagineering story again on it because I am not sure if I'm remembering things incorrectly.
Yeah.
But I believe they said that there is an indoor skydiving part where not like you don't do indoor skydiving. No,
but still.
But there's live actors as part of the ride who are like sword fighting in an indoor skydiving area because it looks like they're falling. I could be wrong about that. I'm 99% sure that's what they said, but I need to double check it.
Okay, well, sticking specifically with
stuff.
Epcot and Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
Sorry, yeah.
I just love everything about this. As a matter of fact, the biggest thing that we experienced most recently was our in-show evacuation.
I wish we had gotten an in-show exit further back.
I do too.
Because like we mentioned in the podcast in Disney World when we were at the All-Star Sports Resort, right? We were sports, okay.
We were sports, yes.
We were basically already there's the brake run where you get off, where you actually are intended to exit the ride.
Right.
And then there's a brake run right before that. And that's where we were.
Yeah.
So our in-show exit was about 10 feet.
And then you stop. And then it like slowly brings you into the curve. And then you get off.
So we were basically done with the ride already anyway. So it was kind of a lame in-show exit, but we still got the fast pass that we ended up not using.
That we couldn't use because we're getting ready to leave the park.
Yeah.
Okay.
We could have used it on anything in Epcot, but the problem was that only Mom and I had them, and Dad was with us too, so he couldn't have used it.
Yeah.
So we would have had to ride something without him, and I think both of us felt guilty about him having to sit and wait for us. 100%. So we just didn't use it.
I do want to make a comment about Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. Mm-hmm. If you are prone to motion sickness in the first place, this is definitely a no ride.
This is unfortunately an F if you have experience motion sickness.
This is why Dad could not ride it.
Yes.
We'll get to it some more in there
Make
too.
you throw up.
All right, moving along to Impressions de France,
which is virtually this, or basically it's a history of France more or less, or kind of like a.
It's like American Adventure does France.
Yes.
and it does have seating.
But it's just a movie as opposed to an
It
animatronic
is just a movie,
stage
but
show.
it's like a 360 movie.
So
Almost
it kind
a
of
360. I won't say it's a 360.
I can't remember, to be honest.
It's almost.
Well, I think it's
360.
almost
Yeah.
because I think the only two 360s are China and
Canada. Yeah.
The other one's not
So,
360.
I mean, I give this one a B because
you
air
can sit
conditioning
down.
and you can sit down.
I dig
Okay.
it.
All right, and your favorite one is
My
coming up.
favorite one. I don't know if you guys know this because I don't remember what information I've shared on the podcast already.
know, maybe with Rick you did this during
Maybe.
the Q&A.
But I am a percussionist. I used to be a drummer, but now I'm a percussionist where I play the drums a little bit, but I mostly enjoy more percussion music. Like I play the djembe regularly. I play the cajon, claves, shakers, and shakerays, and whatever it may be. Drums are in there as well, but basically all things percussion. And because of that, Epcot in what is formerly Future World.
Yes.
It's World Celebration now, I think.
Yeah, it's World Celebration.
So in World Celebration, they have these dudes come out who are dressed and look exactly like the janitors who come and pick up the trash from the trash cans and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Sweep up
popcorn and whatever off the floor. And sometimes they do sweep up popcorn.
Yes. Sometimes they really do.
They look super nonchalant, and then all of a sudden all the three of them get together, and then they're percussionists. They're playing trash cans.
Yes.
And I love watching them every time I see them.
Yes. Trash cans and pails.
Pails, yeah. And anything janitorial that can make any kind of percussion sound, they use, and it's really freaking cool.
Yeah.
I love the jammers, to be honest. Typically they're found right behind Connections Cafe, kind of in between Connections Cafe and Spaceship Earth, or Mission Space, sorry.
Yes.
Rather than more in the center of the garden section.
They're kind of whatever that breezeway is between Creation Shop and Connections Cafe. Yep. They kind of vacillate between those two areas because they have gone over to the other side as well.
I haven't seen them over there.
Yeah.
I mean, I've only been there once since they've opened that area.
And that one is you have to get on the app and you have to see like when they're performing because you won't know when they're coming out. Yeah. And I don't even know if they tell. I think
they're really dressed just like any other janitorial position at Disney. So like you don't really think twice about it unless you happen to catch that they have silver trash cans as opposed to plastic rolling dumpsters.
Yes.
When you see those janitors trash cans, that's how you know it's the janitors.
Yes.
For me, it's an A because I love percussion and I like those guys. They're fun to listen to.
Yes.
This one, I think we're giving an S automatically.
This is an S automatically.
Is this your override? I'm guessing this would be your override if I was going to do anything else.
I don't think you will.
You get to keep your override because I would agree with you personally. And this is another one of those where it falls in the same place as, like mindset wise, it falls in the same place as the Three Caballeros.
Yes. Probably
overrated. We probably like it more than we should. But it is Journey into Imagination with Figment.
Yes.
Which is Mom's favorite thing in Epcot.
And guess what? They just recently released information that they filed a permit.
Ooh, a permit.
To do something. Permits are filed when they're going to make some sort of modification in a ride. And they just did that for Journey into Imagination.
Ooh, that's exciting, actually.
And it was, the previous Journey into Imagination, I'm OG, so back when it opened in 82,
that was Journey into Your Imagination, right?
Journey into Your Imagination, I believe, was what it was. And it had the Dream Finder. And he basically created Figment.
Yes.
And it talks about, there's a song goes with it and everything. It talks about how he created Figment and all this stuff. And so that was really cool. And I really like that. I really like the OG stuff, but because it's Figment, it's totally an S.
Very nice.
It's great.
Fair enough. Now we go to another thing that I have not experienced because I honestly forgot it was there until we had left the park.
Yeah.
And that is Journey of Water inspired by Moana. And I think actually when I was there in March, they were still doing I think they still had a virtual queue for it. I don't think it was fully open yet.
No, it's fully open. It's been fully open.
Was it in March?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well then I missed it.
It was open. It was open in October when Caleb and Emma went for their honeymoon.
Wasn't there a virtual queue on that one? Mm-mm. They used to have a virtual queue for it.
They did have a virtual queue because when it first opened, the end of September, beginning of October, there was it's just like anything when it first opens. There's a lot of interest. And then people are like, oh, it's just walking through with water.
Yeah, you just walk. And that's the thing that confuses me about the Journey of Water.
Yeah.
Inspired by Moana is that it's literally just a walkthrough thing, and yet there is a queue for it.
Yes.
I'm like, just walk through it.
Right. And it's because
there is the interactive water bits though.
And also because of the safety aspect, because there is water that gets onto the walkway and stuff.
Right.
So we have to be conscious of, smaller kids and
Fair
stuff
enough.
and, running them over with a scooter and things like that. So this one,
In principle, I say at least a B.
it is at least a B. I would say at least a B.
Because of the water aspect will cool you down. And that's a big thing for us. If it'll cool you down, it's going to be on our list somewhere.
There's only two aspects that I personally was like, oh my gosh, that's fantastic. I'll say even three.
Okay.
One was you could put your hand through water and it was like played strings or something, string music.
Okay.
When you did it. And I don't think it was through water. It was like you waved it by water. And then there's other things like where you raise your hand and the water jumps up that high and stuff like that. I liked it. There's another one where the water, it's like a waterfall coming down.
Right.
And you walk towards the waterfall and then it parts.
Yes. I've seen that.
It parts. And I loved that. As a matter of fact, I was like, this is me walking through it. And then when Dad and I went, I had him go through on the scooter to show that because I was like, well, what's it going to do with the scooter? Like, because I want to be able to speak to some of these accessibility things.
Sure.
Like, what is it like? Can you take a scooter through? What's it like if you take a scooter through? Can you touch the water? Can you do this and that?
I like having that mindset where we talk about that kind of stuff too.
Yeah. And so that was another one of my favorite parts is because it does, it's very inclusive to accessibility restrictions. And then, of course, at the very end is, this is a spoiler. There is,
I don't know if that's really a spoiler. I feel like we've had enough information
is
to
at
know
the
that
end.
that's there.
And I mean, if you like Tafiti and you like the whole Moana story, then that was
super cool.
That was pretty cool. She was not as big as I was expecting. So
that
was a little bit of a bummer.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do we give that one? Do we give that one?
I'll give it to you to decide because I don't have any idea. I think I said B at least.
Yeah, I think B.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Oh, another one I get to talk about.
Yes, because we got a couple more. I think we have one or two more of those. Next one on our list is Joyful, a celebration of the season, which is a Christmas thing.
Yes, this is a festival of the holidays. And they set up a stage between there's like two gift shops at the beginning of World Showcase.
What is it? Port of Entry
and something Navigator or something Traveler,
Depot?
World Traveler?
Yeah.
World
that
Traveler.
Sounds familiar. Yeah.
And it's between the two of those.
Weird, but okay.
There's no place to sit for this one.
Naturally. That's the downfall with Epcot a lot. There's not a lot of places
and as
to
much
sit.
as so I love this one. The only reason it doesn't get an A is because there's no place to sit. It gets higher than a C because it is themed to Christmas.
Okay.
And which I love too. And so it's definitely going to be a B for me.
Fair enough. I'll take it.
Okay.
We move on down the list, continuing alphabetically to Living with the Land.
Yes.
Caleb got mad at me because of something I said about this ride in a previous podcast.
You don't like this ride, do you?
I love this ride.
Oh, do you? Okay.
But I love to nap on this ride. And Caleb gets mad because he likes the ride itself. He likes to see all the farming and stuff.
I do too.
And I'm like, this is a place to nap, dude. Like,
Dad thinks
I'm
so
just
too.
chill, and that's where I must have got it from. I sit down and they're like, it's like the stormy, like there's the bison in the desert, and then there's the stormy scene.
Yes.
After the stormy scene,
right by the farmhouse. That's where you fall asleep.
Yeah. Knocks me out, man.
So you don't even see the hidden Mickeys.
I've got enough hidden Mickeys around my house.
Spoiler alert. After you go past the farmhouse and you turn before you go into where they have the stock tanks of fish, I think there are hoses. I can't remember if it's ropes or hoses on the right hand side of the boat. That's a Mickey.
It's a Mickey shape.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know
Among
there's
other things.
pumpkins in there today are Mickey shape?
Yes.
Hidden Mickeys. No, I was kidding.
Those are
obviously
not
she knew that.
but...
That was sarcasm, guys. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you guys think that I didn't think she knew that. But I don't know, because it's my favorite place to nap, and In Epcot, it gets an A.
It gets an A. The only thing
we're agreeing that it gets an A, but it's for very, very different
very different reasons. Some of us like the educational aspect of
Classic. I think I enjoyed the educational aspect of it when I was in school, and it mattered. But now I'm like, cool.
Yeah, I mean, this is where they even thought about the concept of what would happen if we sent a plant to space? Could it live?
Yeah.
In an environment like that.
The greenhouses are cool.
And that's where it came from.
It smells good in there.
Or like hydroponics and stuff.
Yeah.
And
I believe they use aquaponics.
And they use both hydroponics
Do they
and
use
aquaponics.
Both?
Yep.
There is a slight difference.
There is. Because one has...
I believe aquaponics is just water. No, hydroponics is just water. Hydroponics... No. Aquaponics, good grief. Hydro is just water. Aqua is with fish because they use the fish's poop as fertilizer.
Yes. And then the fish also nibble on the roots.
Yeah.
Kind of
keep them fresh.
And get like whatever algae things get on it and stuff. And actually,
amazing.
Yeah. Definitely an A.
There you go.
Okay.
So now we move on to one of the last things I believe you have to talk about without my help.
Is it?
I believe so, because I think I've done everything else.
Have you been on Remy's Ratatouille Adventure?
I've been on Remy's Ratatouille Adventure 3 times, Mother.
Okay, cool.
Come on now. Come on now.
All right.
Well, I guess maybe.
All right. So Luminous, The Symphony of Us is the new nighttime show. While I am diehard Illuminations, I do love Luminous, The Symphony of Us. I did not like Harmonious, which was previous.
I didn't like Harmonious.
I didn't like it. And I can't remember. Was Harmonious the one that had the big barges?
The ugly barges.
And you had to sit in a specific spot, or it didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So what I liked about Illuminations, The Reflections of Earth, and what I like about Luminous, The Symphony of Us, is that those do not matter where you sit around World Cage Lagoon. Which is the way it should be.
I think unless you're in Japan, because doesn't Japan have that island with the trees in it?
Japan and I think it's over also by the outpost, the African outpost.
Oh, okay.
I think
maybe
both
not.
Of those are,
they're not terrible places, but they're not great because
they're not great
there's
places.
an island with trees on it in the middle of the world in the lagoon, and it just kind of blocks you a little bit. But
the Pillar 7 is the best place.
Pillar 7 in Germany.
Or if you have someone in a scooter,
get your Bavarian pretzel and a glass of beer, and you're
that's
set.
Right. Or if you have someone who's in a scooter. They do have handicapped seating for those in scooters, and it's again right by the World Traveler and the Port of Entry gift shops.
Beautiful.
So that's fantastic. This one, I give this one an S because I really like it.
Is it all original music in Symphony of Us?
Again, what I really like about this is they have combined music from Tapestry of Dreams, which used to be a show that we didn't even get to see.
No, because it stopped before I ever went to Disney.
Yeah, and it came around the World Showcase as a pre-show, a parade kind of thing.
Yeah.
Before Illuminations, and they used music from both of those, and then they use modern stuff from different movies and stuff that they've recently come out with.
So there is movie music in it.
Yeah,
that's
so there's
what I liked.
That's
what I preferred about Illuminations is everything in No, Illuminations did use movie music too, because I remember there was at least the music too. I just can't wait to be king.
Yes. So I mean,
I don't know if there was words, but there was music in it.
There's a little bit. I mean,
but at least it's not all that it is, because that's what Harmonious was. It was all music from the movies,
and it takes even music from like the original Journey into Imagination.
I like
stuff like that. And so I really like that because it is reaching back into the roots. I think there was another one. Epcot Forever, I think, was another like
Epcot was an interim between Illuminations and Harmonious.
Okay.
It filled the gap while they were getting the barges set up and getting everything functioning.
Yeah. That's the only thing also to be cognizant of is what time you are walking around. If you go around the Mexico side to go around to the World Showcase, because at 3 p.m. they do raise that bridge and stop traffic in both directions so that they can get the barges out. And so that has always been a thing. And
it wasn't during Harmonious because everything just stayed in the lagoon.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
that was the one benefit, is that you never had to worry about that drawbridge being up.
But Illuminations they did, and
just
now,
plan ahead. If you need to be in Germany at 3:00, make sure you get over to Germany at 2:30. or walk the other way around World Showcase. It's
Right.
really not that far.
Yeah, because you can't take the friendship boats.
Yeah, because they'll shut the friendship
because
boats down
they'll
as
shut
well.
those down while they're moving the barges and stuff too.
Cool. Well, guys, this episode is starting to run on a little bit long, so we're going to split it up into 2 parts. Right now, we are about halfway through the list, so next week, you guys can expect to see me and Mom again finish out the rest of Epcot here. But until then, guys, let the wonder take hold.